the worst book I ever edited into a slideshow was a Star Trek cookbook from 99 or 97. Somebody, yeah, it was a nightmare because one, there's no pictures at all for these recipes. So I'm already pissed off. I'm like, that's fucking great. Then when it broke down the PDF into individual pixel pages and shit, there was so much empty white space. I'm like, are you shitting me? So I broke it down and it was like 300 or 400 pages to go through. And by the time I was done, and it took me 2 to 3 hours to do all this shit. Because I had to crop I had to crop the pages, copy and paste, so fill out. And it took me, 2 to 3 hours to do that. And then the slideshow itself, I think, was like 40 minutes total. Because I left it on 5 seconds per page. Because I was like, I'm not making this long. Fuck that. And then I had to upload the album to Facebook. So there's an album for people to look at it. But yeah, those pages, Jesus Christ. Oof, nightmare.
Jeez.
So, next crossover.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So, we are talking about the next is Star Trek versus Transformers.
Oh, I read that. That was good. That was funny.
I would hope you would read it because you're here.
Yeah, I did. I read that.
It didn't really take too many risks, but I dug how it took the animated 70s track style. I'm like, see, that's a total tribute. That definitely works better as opposed to did you get the so-and-so and draw them in cartoon form the right way. And it's like, it added to the camp. I loved how there was more, do we, have our ship run interference? It was just laid back. It was really, really an easy read. I got some of my notes, but I'll let you kind of hit a little into it. So, altogether, I mean, what are the details you have on it?
The Enterprise becoming a Transformer, that was cool.
The ultimate Transformer.
Yeah, for real. Starscream trying to get one over on Megatron like every fucking day. It's
the dialogue is complete. The complete camp. You will not get out of this.
That's the dumbest trope.
We will kill your people. Yeah, so Megatron, total ham here. It's like, my God, dude, get off your soapbox. But just it goes by so quick, and that's what I look for in all of these. I don't know that it needs to be as many issues, but it went by so fast. I could have done without some of the exposition, but truth be told, they're just trying to play it out like it would be if it was an actual cartoon episode.
Yeah, definitely.
So you going in, you got to be in that mode. You can't view this as
cool,
a live action kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could do it animated's perfect for it because you have the assets there, but everybody wants to move on from.
And Megatron's trying to convince the Klingons to join, and they're stupid, so they go along with it. I love how they, based on who's operating them, it looks just like the person performing it. So I forget which one that Spock operates. It's the blue one.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's been a while since I read it.
Yeah, it's fine. And they're trying to affect both of them by dropping acid bath on them. But what really stands out is having Spock join his mind up in his prime. That got cerebral. That's like, whoa.
Yeah, that was good.
Where the hell are we going with that? That's wild.
The variant covers for it too. Those are really good. That's always the first thing I look at when I get a comic from the library.
It's really confusing at first. You're like, do I have the right issue? No, it's just version A, version B. Awesome.
That's what I like, because them cross-them comic covers are the best because they're all collect. That's why I like the collector's editions, because you get all the variants in one issue for the most part. Sometimes they don't have all the covers. I've noticed that with some DC stories I've read, and I was disappointed by them. I was like, oh, what's the rest of them? Like, I saw this shit. Yeah. Like, the one arc I picked up was Night Terror, and that's a newer one. I didn't read it, though, because I'm so out of reading it. And I looked at the back, and I was impressed by the covers, but there were a lot missing. I was like, there were like 30 plus covers.
Oh, wow, that is
thing.
really recent. Jesus, it's a big DC.
Yeah, there was a lot of fucking covers for this thing. So many variants and shit. And they only had a handful of them in the back of it. I'm like, that's not right.
Nice. I love the tagline, 5-year mission meets a 4 million year war. Those are, some people are going to be confused. It's like Star Trek was supposed to go on, for more than 3 years. And so that's why they kind of corrected it with those fan series and comics by IDW. And yeah, 4 million year wars. Yeah, how long hard to believe.
And I also got the Star Trek animated series art book on the channel too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear how the Japanese animators got so tired of matching up the Spock exposition to where they would just make it look like he was thinking deeply and have his mouth in front of his...
No, I never saw that.
He would have his mouth in front of it, his hand or something, or be looking in the opposite direction, so they didn't have to animate all the damn sci-fi mumbo jumbo he's repeating.
Actually, Invincible Season 2 covers that. No, you mentioned that shit.
Really?
Yeah, the Invincible goes to a Comic-Con with his girl, and he meets one of the famous comic artists that's there, and he literally breaks the fourth wall and tells you how an animated series is made in detail. And I'm like, that is so good shit. Yeah.
Nice.
Diehards will call it a filler episode, but I like the educational factor of it.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with behind the scenes stuff as opposed to quick one-offs that were talking heads and I didn't learn shit. Seeing the famous director or writer talk, or when they state the obvious. I mean, there's even special features from post 2002 that make me cringe too. I'm like, good God, you had 2 hours and you didn't have anything to edit that told me whatever. I guess it's a campy crowd, so it doesn't really matter. Well, and much like I liked how they gave the T-800 and Sarah Connor and the Terminator versus Transformers crossover a lot to do, they give everyone pretty much something here. Sulu's out and about fighting, Uhura's helping with the ship, and Scotty and McCoy are involved with they basically each get like a Cybertron Transformer to be in while they fight the Decepticons. The Klingons are very hammy, but like you said before, like it goes by real fast. It embraces the cartoon style as opposed to movie style with campy cartoon. It would have been too much, and you just have to get past Megatron loving the sound of his own voice too much. Where you're like, and it doesn't have an iffy ending like the Terminator versus Transformers one, where they did the end question mark. Like, this is it's pretty straightforward, and it ends it just like you would see on either a cartoon or in the actual track shows of the time. So it's a crowd pleaser, very decent, not much risk taken, but very consistent. So no one can say I didn't see my popular character get properly repped. This isn't like the Judge Dredd versus Batman face off where you're like, that's awesome, but they're doing stuff they generally wouldn't do.
That was an interesting trilogy.
Batman, I still love using it because it's a good way to piss off Batman fans and say, hey, Judge Dredd knocked him out in one punch. Hey. It's possible to knock Batman the fuck out.
True. And he throws him in prison for being a pedophile.
But I just hate just having to fuck around with fans, and it's just like, God, Lord, it's not going to be consistent. We're talking about a guy who beats up superheroes. It doesn't make sense other than that. He's just does.
And grooms little boys and girls. They're orphans.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know where to get that one. I think he's just a gimp. I think he's just a freak in a mask, but we won't know.
My child.
It would be ironic if you made that tasteless joke and then it turned out a Batman actor actually was a pedophile.
I mean, I look at it as though, because as I've learned that, everything you write is a reflection of your lifestyle that you really don't want to know. You put everything that you know into a character and shit. And I'm like, it's possible one of them had to have had some issues at some point.
Someone's just got to give. Like, the whole, I didn't feel very well represented. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, the more you look at Batman, the more a lot of shit shows. It's like he's solves everything so easily. He has an affinity for orphans that are under the age of 12.
Oh, now he is definitely bi. Or I will accept the incel because he's very unstable. Doesn't seem to be good around women, unless they're a trophy girlfriend. Yeah. So
and every time he loses,
and now that we've pissed off every Batman fan coming for us.
It's on them. They just want to keep the rose-tinted glasses on, don't want to see past the shit. It's so obvious. He's a glorified groomer who goes after orphans every time he loses one. It's like, dude, how do you not see that? He's helping them heal their pain through fighting crime. That's not
pain. What does that mean?
That's not even helpful, dude.
Pain don't hurt much. Like a little-known movie called Roadhouse.
Yeah. It's just dumb. It's like he grooms them. It's funny. He grooms them with the promise of money, a new home, and then instead of fucking them or molesting them and shit, he has them go and beat up other adults because he's too insecure and can't do it himself.
Because he couldn't bother to hire a merc army, so he's just like, nah.
Bingo.
And then we'll fuck off screen and imply it later.
But I do like the other variations of Batman. There's other variations that are really fucking good. It's just that the way they push it, like, it's like, oh, he's saving these orphans. And he's not really. Why are they always ending up dead or getting beaten themselves? It's like, Jesus. I mean, you see him morph from his basic layout to a fascist.
I mean, he is absolutely pro-business because with that, but that's the stupid thing about those superheroes. If you stopped it, you would be able to, most of these enemies, you would be able. I mean, there's definitely been some crossovers with Lex Luthor. It's just like, yeah, guys, business bad. And doing the whole the ends justify the means. Oh, stop.
I need a new gadget, Alfred. Help me. I lost my favorite teammate. Help me find a new orphan.
And still call him Robin instead of just something else. Because Nightwing was taken, but Robin.
Nah. And a lot of the biggest issue is with Batman fans is they can't accept.
Well, that's the reason with everything, dude. Like we wouldn't hate any of these other comedy, action, sci-fi, horror movies as much if they didn't have people stroking them at the Oscars or just other shit where you're just like, stop. It's not that good.
It's not even that, but also the fact that they don't get that the title is just a mantle. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. Is because Batman can't be black. I'm like, okay. okay, gay race keeper.
Yeah. And then doing the whole, I'm not racist. Well, if it doesn't matter. I mean, like, James Bond, I get that he has to be a certain way, but then I get annoyed by the creators doing the whole, we were different. I'm like, no, you really didn't. You went back to square one. Yeah. Ian Fleming's still racist, and Bond still sexist pig. Not gonna shit on people. So,
like, I literally watched maybe 15 minutes of Roger Moore 007, and wow, misogynistic, egotistical. Ooh, wow, just absolutely dumb. I'm like, ew. And people like this shit. The only Bond film I liked was Casino Royale. That was it. That's the only one I ever really, truly liked.
It's just a good, well-edited film, but my issue with Craig is just, again, the fans who were never Bond fans, and now they like it now. And then there's the the endings suck, the music sucks, and Royal just it acted like this was even going to be the last one out, so it took as many risks as it could without doing the whole this could be it, or maybe it'll lead to something, but they
still can't believe people were mad about Idris being a possible candidate. Like, dude,
I was cool with that. Yeah, I just got tired when they had already said, hey, we're not accepting it. But see, truth be told, the other ones who read for it, Tom Hardy, and now Aaron Taylor Johnson's going around, and I'm just like, no, and no. They can't carry a movie, in my opinion. So I don't want to see him as Bond. But
I mean, you got Idris. He has sex appeal. He is very well known. He's got a great acting.
He's been in some good spy movies. The Take was a really good one.
He's got the swagger. Like, he looks like James Bond. Mm-hmm. But he even said in an article, he's not doing it because he'd rather be Luther.
Luther in many ways already is kind of his Bond. Yeah. He just happens to be a rogue vigilante detective, so whatever. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's true. Give him his own new franchise.
Next.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win. On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
The Jacked Up Review Show podcast is honored to be part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. Join anytime, talk the talk, and enjoy yourselves. There's something enlightening for everyone with this crowd of cool cats. Check them out.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a jacked up